Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. We are back here with another match reaction. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you agree or disagree, hit the like button. We are here to disagree, um, if not to agree. Thank you to everybody that watched the watch along. That was great. We're gonna get Gary. We're gonna get the Mighty Win, and everybody else that wants to have an opinion. We're gonna get them on the show as soon as as soon as we can. As soon as I'm done, really, with this monologue that I'm about to give you. Um, my short answer is pretty simple. We are a horrible team. We're a horrible team. We have to accept that. We have to accept that. And I'm going to tell you why we're a horrible team. As much as we play decent at times, as much as we tend to do certain things that are that are good, we're still somewhat a horrible team. And it is what it is, isn't it? We have to accept it. We are probably a mid-table team, maybe hoping that we can get into Europe at some point. We'll miss Europe some games, some years, and so that is just us because that is the type of players that we have and the type of manager that we have. So we have to understand where we're at in the pecking order, and unfortunately, we're a mid-table team. You can see it right here when we play against the big dogs. Yeah, and we played against City. We were good at home. Haven't really proven that away from home. We did it a bit last season, but this season is not the same. Um, we can't defend whatsoever. Can't defend whatsoever. On a simple counter attack, the first one we were decent this game. We were decent in the beginning. In the beginning, and in a simple counter attack, they score once, disallowed because of inches. Because of inches. So we got lucky on that one. That was a warning. We got lucky. We should have said, you know what? Let's be careful. Let's not have this anymore. Second counter, bang. And that counts. They scored. The same thing as Brighton. Same thing as Brighton. Remember that. A few plays. It takes them a few plays to score. My beloved friend, the Mighty Win, thinks that we have the best defense in the world. Um, how come they score on the first opportunity that they get? They score. That tells me we're a horrible team. That goal that was disallowed, of course. By the way, Dan Burn wandering around again. Dan Burn wandering around, and I'm like, we got lucky because it was disallowed. But that doesn't change that it was just inches, inches, and that goal would have counted. And Dan Burn wandering around once again. We have players with zero, just common sense as far as what they're supposed to do. What they play calls, we don't do it. Simple. Although in the beginning we did well, we never make it easy for ourselves. We always shoot ourselves in the foot. Always, always. They don't have to beat us. We're gonna do it for them. We're gonna beat ourselves for them. Our players don't do what makes common sense. Our manager doesn't do what makes common sense. It's a disgrace to take off Sandro Tonali. And to be honest, at the time before that change, I thought Eddie had a fair game. I mean, not a good game, not a bad game as far as the manager is concerned. But he always has to screw up for himself. He takes Tonali off once again. He can play 90 minutes for Italy. He can play 90 minutes for any other team, for AC Milan, getting them to the semifinals of the Champions League, something we haven't seen, never seen. And we have the audacity to take this man off when he's not even. It's not like he's playing bad. He's contributing to the team, and he's certainly not the worst player on the pitch. To me, the worst player on the pitch was Isak. That leads me to the common sense that we have that we don't have from our players as well, because they have to be blamed as well for what we're going through. Alexander Isak, the worst player on the pitch, and he scored. Finally scores, and he's the worst player on the pitch because he had the draw, the equalizer. All he had to do is make that simple pass. Make the simple pass. What the play calls common sense. And I don't know what the hell he tried to do. Joe Linton. If I'm Joe Linton, I have to see him in the locker room. If I'm Joe Linton, I have to have a few words with Isak in the locker room. It's a fact. Because the team comes first. He did everything perfect except the execution at the end. Even Longstaff was coming on. Longstaff. He could have scored. Players don't do what makes sense. Like I said, then Barry wandering around. And in that play, by the way, they scored the second goal, Chelsea. Isak loses the ball once again. But I'm also going to mention Livramento. Instead of, okay, the numpty lost the ball, let me run back. He starts looking at the sky, complaining, pouting, and crying, instead of getting his ass back and running back to try to defend that ball. We have players that make moves that make no sense. We don't use common sense whatsoever. Poor set pieces once again, man. Set pieces. We are the worst. It has to be the worst. Have to be the worst in the league. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but just unbelievable. We are. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It doesn't matter. At the end, we had a corner kick. I had no hopes. Because that's what we do. We wonder around who's going to take the set pieces. When have you ever seen that in a professional team? Have you ever seen a professional team where every set piece there is they're wondering around the players who's going to take it? Fans don't know who's going to take any set pieces because there's no clarity, and this should come from the manager. By the way, he should be the one that says this guy needs to take a set piece. Simple. We have no it's not in the game either, man. We're a horrible team. We're a poor team. Horrible maybe because we just lost, but poor team. We're a poor team. We're gonna be a mid-table team. I'm just letting fans know so their hopes don't get high and you hope for something else. We're just a poor team. It's simple as that. We have to recognize where we're at, and that's where we're at. Last but not least, Chelsea celebrated at the end. Did you see Chelsea celebrating at the end? They celebrated as if they had won something. And that's the only hope that I can have, that Chelsea celebrated at the end. Maybe they do think that we are a better team than that what I'm portraying here, but my notes from the whole game tell me that we are a poor team. But maybe that Chelsea celebration tells us we're not. We made it difficult for him, but we just can't. We can't do it. Harvey Barnes, poor game, Harvey Barnes. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch though. Isak was, and he scored. So you definitely know that he did everything possible to be the worst player on the pitch because he scored, and even then, I believe he was the worst player on the pitch. All right, hit the like, folks. Hit the like button.